Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this in the world. I hope you guys are doing okay. So today we're doing a slightly different video. As you can see, I've already got Feng Wei up on here for you guys to go over with. I've seen a lot of pushback on the Feng Wei nerfs. I even saw a really popular Feng player called Titanthor saying he's uninstalling the game. I think it was him anyway. So I've gone over the changes to Feng Wei and I wanted to go over them with you guys. I also want to talk about some comments that Nee made because he doesn't seem very happy with the changes either. And he also made a very interesting comment about death matches. So we're going to get on all of that today. But the first portion of this video is going to be about Feng Wei's changes. So Feng Wei has undergone a number of changes since this new patch. And again, like I said, people seem like they don't really like them. People that have been annoyed by Feng Wei seem very happy with them. So as a Feng Wei main, as someone that has been playing Feng Wei since Tekken 5, I'm going to give my thoughts on the changes. You guys know I'm always like objective with my opinions, or at least I try to be as honest as possible and set aside my personal opinions. So we'll start at the top. We're going to start with 3-3. So this string here, I should probably turn rage off. This move does 25 damage in total. Previously it did 33, I believe. The second hit of this did 18 damage. It's obviously been taken down now to 10 damage, so it's been a damage nerf to Feng Wei. Now this move still gels on block, okay? It gels on block, and I actually think they should have nerfed that as well. I think that they should have made it so that you conduct the second hit. The reason I'm saying that is that Feng Wei can do this. So he has a mid-mid option, a very strong mid-mid option, sorry, that he can charge up. Against the wall, this move is an absolute nightmare. Feng can literally spam that on you and then go for that. So in my opinion, this should not jail, and that goes for all moves like this. Moves that go from low to high or mid to high, you should have the option to duck them, especially when Feng has this. So this nerf to damage is fine. I've said a million times with Feng Wei that he should not be a damage monster. He should be a character that kills you with 1000 cuts, right? He's got so many sick moves in his arsenal, so many ways to mix you up. It should be death by 1000 cuts. So I'm completely fine with a damage nerf to this, not a problem at all. Of course, if you go to complete the string, he still gets a mix up from this. You don't know if he's going to go for that, you don't know if he's going to go for this, and then he can go for his grab. Still very, very powerful. Absolutely nothing to complain about there. Then you've got forward 1+2. Now this still tracks very well to the left side. It doesn't track on the right side. But on the left side it's fine, so where he swings his hand, if you're sidestepping that way into the foreground, you're going to get hit by it. If you sidestep the other way into the background, you're not going to get hit. Now this move on block is -9. What that means is you can't punish him. It's an armored move, it puts him in heat, and it's safe. Right, so I think that the nerf to it is fine. Now the nerf that they gave it is this. If you see there is no pushback whatsoever. Previously, Kazuya would have been pushed back quite significantly there, and it would put Feng in a pretty good position. It's -9 still, and it's not that Feng's in a bad position because he's not punishable, but it's not as ridiculous. I think that's a justifiable nerf, and that's something that I'd like to see with most armored attacks. Most armored attacks in this game give you too much, and then you've got some that put you in heat, which is what Feng Wei's one did. So he has a safe armored move. Giving it this nerf is not a big deal. I'm all for it, absolutely no problem whatsoever. You still get quite a lot from it, because when Feng goes into heat, you know the party gets started. There was a nerf to back 2, so back 2-3 does a little bit less damage now. They've brought the damage down. Again, I don't think Feng should be a damage monster. I think he should kill you with 1000 moves. He's very irritating to fight in that sense, because he's hitting you from all sorts of directions and he's poking you all over the place. So the damage nerf to this is completely fine. There's no issues there whatsoever. I think it goes in line with the kind of character I want Feng Wei to be. Then you've got this move, right? Very evasive. Up forward 2. +3 on hit. So very good. Evades out of completely out of the way of a lot of moves. I believe on counter hit, still gives that knockdown. Yeah, come on. He still gets that. I believe that he can probably get a little bit more. Yeah, he gets a launcher. He gets a launcher from it. So this has now been nerfed. This does not do the pushback that it used to. It's now -10. You can get a jab punish from Feng Wei. Again, I'm fine with this nerf. I've advocated for this game not being Unga Bunga, and if you've got a move like this that completely evades a lot of moves that are quite linear, and even some moves that hit tracking, it should have some drawbacks. Now it's always been -10, but it's pushed back so much that it was unable to punish him. I think that this change is completely fine. I don't want to play a game where the moves are just Unga Bunga and it's annoying. So if the trade-off is that on counter hit you get a knockdown, so the Oki situation is good. At the wall you get a full combo, you evade, and it does decent damage for what it is. You know, it's a good poking tool as well. When people are throwing out jabs, just throw this out and you catch them. Making it jab punishable, no problem whatsoever. Again, you do not want to promote a stupid Tekken game. If it means nerfing my main character, then fine. Other characters of this move, like Jin, I think they got overlooked. I don't think Jin should be able to do this either. Jin's got a move just like this. I don't believe you can punish Jin's one. So there's inconsistency with the balancing. Jin is a very Unga Bunga character, so if they're going to nerf Feng Wei's, I don't see why they haven't nerfed Jin's. I guess he's protected by the fact that he's the main character. But if we're just looking at Feng Wei, this is completely fine. There's no issues with this whatsoever. The next move that has been changed is quarter circle 1+2. Okay, so now on counter hit, when you hit this move, you go straight into shoulder. I've seen people online saying they don't like this change. I personally love it. Now maybe it's just because I love shouldering people. It's my favorite move in the game basically. And it puts you in heat. I think this is awesome. Now previously it used to cause a knockdown. You don't have to go into heat either. It's not the only thing you can do. You can go for and then put yourself in back Kenpo. I saw a lot of people saying, oh, you just get shoulder from it. That's not true. You can do this, mix them up, and you get the point, you know. So I think this is a good change. I think this is a very, very good change. You can even do this and then do mix-ups, and then, you know, go for whatever. You can see that the damage was already quite high. So again, I think that this is a good change. It gives Feng something new to do. You know, if you want to go straight into heat, you can. No problems there. And I wonder if he can go into... No, that one still doesn't work. Doesn't give enough. But you still get the mix-ups. But anyway, I think that's a fine change. I don't think there's a problem with that. People complain about it. I think you're blowing it out of proportion. It's a pretty cool change. You get to use shoulder a bit more, and you get to engage the mix-ups of Feng Wei a bit more. You know, do this nonsense. I don't know if that used to do that. That's a bit weird. Anyway, can test that later on. The next change to Feng Wei is his back turn 2. Now only gives a guaranteed follow-up. So before, this used to launch. So when you go into heat, you could do this and then you'd get a launcher from it. Now you only get a guaranteed follow-up, so more than likely you'll see people going for shoulder after this because it's the easier option, but you can go for forward 3 and then go into Kenpo, shifting clouds or whatever. I don't see the problem with this. Again, this move in heat was stupid, as are all of the attacks that do these things. If my character needs to be nerfed first in order for this change to be put in Tekken for all the characters, then so be it. I do not want to play a Tekken game where there's just dumb shit happening across the board. So this is a good change. Okay, Feng Wei again does not need to be a damage monster. He does not need to be launching you all the time. It goes against what the character should really be all about, which is pure mix-ups and disorientating the player with the amount of places that he can hit you. So again, I think this is good. Get rid of the Unga Bunga. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care if they have to start with Feng, because again, there are some characters that were completely overlooked in this, in my opinion. We're not even going to get to King's Bloody Wave Dash. We'll forget about that for now. But this is completely fine. Then you've got Shifting Clouds 2, which is this. This is a really good change. So it used to do 15 damage on hit, and it was +6. Now it does 18 damage on hit, and it's +25. Now the great thing about this move is that this move can be cancelled into back turn. I don't see anyone really using it. Even if I turn off, is counter hit on? Yeah, counter hit's on. Let me turn off counter hit so you guys can see that this move is genuinely really good. So it causes this knockdown, you can shift into that. Cause this knockdown, you can go into that. There's so many things you can do from it. So people that are, again, not paying attention to this attack, this is a really, really powerful attack. Again, it promotes Feng Wei's over-the-top mix-ups, which is what the character should be all about. This is a very, very good buff in my opinion. It's a move that I use very often. If you watch me play, you probably see me use it quite often. So I'm quite happy about that. I think that's a really good buff. And if it's for buffing Feng Wei's mix-ups, I'm all for it. Again, I don't think Feng Wei should be a damage monster. Quality of life update. The second hit of this rage, this heat burst hits now. Before it used to like whiff in some angles. If you did it from side angle, sometimes it would completely whiff depending on where you did it. Now it's very consistent, so that's good. And those are really the most notable changes to Feng Wei. So again, the people that are saying Feng Wei is dead, you guys are insane. If you were struggling against Feng Wei before, you're still going to struggle against him. This won't be the only radical change that we see from the game. This is the biggest change that we've seen so far for this patch, not just with Feng Wei. But if your character escaped the nerfs, they're not going to escape them forever. They will come for them soon. RIP the Devil Gym players. Now before I close off this video, and I've given you guys my thoughts on Feng Wei, I'm happy with the changes. I think they're all good and justifiable changes. Ni sees it kind of differently, and I'm going to read out to you one of the tweets that Ni tweeted out, and then obviously he made a tweet about death matches as well, which I thought was very interesting because you guys know that's something that I've been advocating for. It seems that characters who showed strong performance in Tekken World Tour have been nerfed, but the direction for Feng Devil Jin is a little hard to understand. They're said to be good characters, but they've never dominated in Tekken World Tour yet. Still, the nerf keeps happening. It's a bit of a shame. Now, a lot of people had a lot of pushback for Ni on this talking point, but I actually stand with Ni in what he's saying. Now, it's not that I don't think Feng should have been nerfed. I'm happy with the nerfs. I think it makes the character more fun to play, in my opinion. But the problem here is the direction of the game. There's been nerfs that have made to some characters, and some other characters have been completely left of their stupid shit, and it seems very, very reactionary to me. There seems to be some content creators online, there seems to be some players that are bandwagoning and complaining about Feng and some other characters, and that's why the nerfs happened. It didn't happen because they saw a problem. Although they're good changes, it's inconsistent across the roster. We've seen some really weird things with this balance patch that other content creators that are going to cover in more depth. This is more just about Feng Wei, but I do think there is an inconsistency with these updates. Again, I think that nerfing Feng was a good thing. For all the people that think they're going to start beating Feng now, I have news for you. That's just not, it's probably not going to happen. If you were struggling before, you're probably still going to struggle against Feng. It's the same people that were making the argument that Dragunov is no longer a top tier character because of the nerf. That is absolutely absurd. Dragunov was really dumb before, and he's still super powerful. They just justifiably nerfed some things on him. I think Ni's a little bit frustrated with the changes to Feng, not because Feng didn't deserve them, but because across the board it doesn't seem to be evenly distributed, and it seems to be a reactionary nerf to Feng rather than one that came with the same consistency for other characters. Feng is one of the least played characters in this game. If you look at the stats, he's in the bottom 12. I believe he's probably going to drop further when the June stats come out, and he'll probably continue to drop because people apparently don't like this guy, and now they've made him weaker. He's objectively weaker, even though it's a good direction to send the character for the sake of Tekken as a whole, but he'll probably get played even less. So now you're going to see the character even less. You're going to struggle against him more, because there's going to be more character specialists using him. He's going to be less prevalent online, and you're going to deal with a lot of bullshit. I mean, Feng Wei is a mix-up king. His damage should be taken away for that reason, but if you see this character less, it's going to cause more problems for you. The last thing I want to touch on really quickly is Ni also made a tweet about death matches. He said, actually, there's not much reason for users to go to the lounge. There's not much reason to show their avatars. How about creating a deathmatch zone in the lounge? I suggest a more long set rank match than a best of 3. It's necessary in the highest rank, and I think this is a fantastic suggestion from Ni. In my opinion, if you don't want to put death matches in the conventional rank, I think the Tekken Lounge right now is very underutilized. I never go there. If it's a place where they can create a deathmatch zone and you can have rankings for that zone, so you can have the conventional rankings where people play right now, and then you have the deathmatch rankings with their own titles, I think that would be so sick. I think that would solve the issue, because there's a lot of people that don't want death matches to come back in the rank setting that we have now, and there's a lot of people that do want it to come back. So a perfect middle ground would be like, right, these guys can have their ranked over here, and there can be deathmatch ranks over here, and they can have their own unique title set, they can have their own unique rules. The death matches can be 1st to 10 minimum and go for as long as they need to. You can create a whole point system around it. You can cap it at certain times so that it doesn't get out of hand. But I think Ni's suggestion is really good, and it will give the Tekken Lounge more of a reason to be used, because I don't use it at all. It's a cool idea, but there's nothing there for me to do. So I thought that was really interesting. Now, Ni got a lot of pushback on his tweets, but I actually am in agreement with Ni. If it's for the sake of consistency, yeah, I don't think this patch was consistent across the board. But again, objectively speaking, I think the Feng Wei changes were justified. I think it makes the character better. There's some quality of life changes as well in this game. Like, for example, Heat Burst will no longer kill the opponent. If you have 1 HP and somebody does a heat burst on you, it will just allow them to go into heat. It won't allow them to kill you because it has armor on it. I've seen some characters being able to now parry when people go into heat burst. Previously, the only character I could see do that was Raven, but it seems to be more characters now. There's a lot more sidestepping going on, so there's not that much unga bunga, or there's much less. So this patch overall, system wise and for some of the characters, was really good. Obviously there's a ways to go, there's a lot of things they need to refine and improve, but I'm quite happy with it. I can't complain too much. Even as someone that mains this character and he got nerfed, I think that if this is the direction they're going in and they're trying to make the characters less brain dead, then yeah, I'm all for it. Your character might have escaped this time, but they're coming for your character. I know they've already nerfed Jin's tracking on some things. I know the Demon Palm has been nerfed with Devil Jin, and I think Jin as well. I know Kazuya has had quality of life buffs. I know that his combos have gotten a lot better, so I'm sure the Kazuya players are very happy. But overall, I think this was a good update, apart from King. I don't know what they... RIP Armor King. I really thought Armor King was going to make a comeback, but now I'm just like, King's got some of his attacks, now he's got a wave dash. All he needs is a dark upper, and that's the end of Armor King. Anyways guys, thank you for tuning into the video. Bit of a weird video on here today. I don't usually do them like this, but as a Feng Wei man, I thought I'd give my 2 cents on the situation. Anyways guys, take care of yourselves, have a good day, and peace.